Welcome to Networking Squared with Jerry O and Al Crawford. Grab your coffee, hang out for an hour, and learn from their business experts. Now, here are your business squares, Jerry and Al.
Oh, my goodness. Welcome a Saturday morning, snowy Saturday morning. And I didn't get a chance to do my snow, so my mail truck guy drove right up on the front of the office and dropped the mail off. I guess maybe I need to start shoveling snow, Al.
Well, you can do that if you want, Jerry, but first I want to wish you a Happy New Year, and I'm just a little hurt that you accused me of driving across your sidewalk instead of thinking the mailman would have done it.
Did you drive across my snow? No way. And I want to welcome everybody. It is the new year. Happy New Year, Mr. Al Crawford. It was good to be with you New Year's Day here in the studio.
Well, geez, I've spent Christmas Day with you. I spent New Year's Day with you. God, I'm glad we're friends.
It is a very, very good thing. We have been working on the show. We have been checking out all kinds of things. We have spent a lot of time researching, and some of the stuff we don't even have to research. Birds falling out of the sky, Al. I mean, it is kind of scary. We've got people talking about that on Facebook. It's in the news. It's all over the web. So we got birds falling out of the sky. We have fish dying in Ethiopia. We have, what else we got going on? Bees that are mysteriously dying. Is this all a tie into the Mayan calendar thing?
No, it's really not. I mean, we know science is proving why these things are happening. I really just think that the Mayans just ran out of ink. I really don't think, or they ran their little, they had to stop somewhere. They couldn't go forever. I'm really not having too much of a struggle with that. December 21st, 2012.
So the Mayans weren't selling the new calendars at the kiosk at the mall anymore after. 2000. Oh, we can't say 2000 anymore. After 12.
Yeah. I mean, if they were so smart, why aren't they still here?
Yeah, that's true. So, yeah, I'm worried about a civilization that's not even around. They couldn't figure out their calendar. I was reading a thing in the paper about all of the plagues. It's like, oh, are we going to go through the plagues now? It is. People are really starting to freak out. So, I mean, between blood in the water, frogs and gnats and wild beasts and pestilence, and it's scaring me.
I'm not scared at all, Jerry. I think it's just something where there's so much coverage. The world is open. Everybody knows everybody now, and that's the other side of all the things that we're about is that you didn't hear about these things. Everybody's world used to be a few mile radius. Now the whole world is in touch with each other.
I mean, immediately, and then we all get to comment. We didn't all used to be able to comment. You either had to have a blog or something if you were going to comment. Now, being on Facebook and the social media, you get to comment immediately. So maybe in Egypt, if they would have had Facebook, they would not have needed 10 plagues. They might have been able to do it in 2 and to get their point across.
Yeah, 2 probably. And, God could have probably created the earth in like 2.5 days instead of 7.
So Facebook and social media, it does move a lot faster. Speaking of the news, Mr. Crawford, I have a question for you. And in my weird world that I live in underneath this headset, and in between my ears, you're a bowler, right?
Yes, I am. I'm a very proud bowler.
How long have you been bowling, Al?
I've been in league play since I was 15 years old.
So since you were 15, kind of when I think about that, I go back to the Flintstones, and you were using like granite bowling balls.
Granite bowling balls, and we all tippy-toed. Tippy-toed barefoot, no bowling shoes.
No bowling shoes,
Yep.
And then threw the ball down. So so you're on a lot of leagues. How many leagues are you in right now?
2.
All right, so you're in 2 leagues. When you have a league out there, and this is all a really cool tie-in, do you guys have, for your new league, do they give out the bowling rules and regulations every year?
Yep. I was actually a president of a league for 14 years in a row. And,
wow.
And what happened was that we as officers all had a copy of the rules. We then gave copies of those rules to all the members in the league. And then our job was to understand those rules and to be able to interpret those when there were issues from the other people in the league.
So you got this league thing. So each person is like given a list of the rules.
Yep.
As a bowler.
Yep.
And then if you're an officer, it's kind of important to have those rules. Why do you need to know about them being an officer?
because it's something where my job is to enforce those rules, because as other people, they may have them, but they don't really take time to digest what they mean, or they don't care. So that was why we were empowered, so that we could understand and we could support those rules.
All right, so here's where I'm going with all of this. It's really important to know the rules. You've got to know what's happening, and we're talking about something as important as a bowling league. Now, if you were in Congress and they were going to read the Constitution, do you think that would be an important part to you if you were in Congress to know about that?
I would expect that to be a prerequisite. I think that should be something that you should absolutely know backwards, frontwards, in every other direction.
All right. So reading of the Constitution would not be an issue if you were a new guy coming in and you're sitting down in those big cushy chairs to hear what the Constitution is about, so that when you are enacting, putting together, and voting on laws, you are there and you've actually sworn allegiance to uphold and to protect the Constitution. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So probably much easier than your bowling league. You probably didn't have to swear anything. Probably if you're bowling bad, but you don't have to swear any allegiance to your bowling league.
No, people normally swore at me, but that wasn't really the issue.
So I read the Constitution, know what's in it. Actually, earlier today, Al and I put together the show. As we were putting it together, we were actually going through and looking at some of the constitutions and the Bill of Rights and the amendments. It was pretty cool.
It was. And it's an amazing thing. There's this thing called the internet that you can actually go to this other thing called Google, and you can type in the number and the amendment, and you can actually read it. And being it's that simple, you would think that these political figures would actually, take that effort and read that stuff.
Yeah,
but they're not. That's really the point of this, Jerry. I mean, share with our listeners why you're making a point of this today.
I just want people to know what's going on. I want to make sure that people understand that you and I put a lot of research into what we do. We are paying attention to the news. We are paying attention to all of the social media, the changes, the rearranges, and we need to be very much experts in at least knowing what's going on. We're not experts in all of the fields. We're just experts in being able to pull it all together and bring it to the listeners.
But I want to take a step backwards.
Oh, you do that.
My point is, I want you to explain to our listeners why you made a point of this. What's going on is it Congress?
Yes.
Okay, please explain to our listeners why you're so upset about this.
Because we had people that were very upset that they were taking the time to read this. They thought that is ridiculous, and why do we have to have the Constitution read to us? Why do we have to hear about it? That just drives me crazy. So they should know.
We have people in Congress that were saying that they didn't think they should have to read the rules.
Correct. And they're thinking that it's kind of an old, outdated, it's just old and outdated, and it really isn't relevant today.
But correct me if I'm wrong, isn't their job to uphold the Constitution?
Yeah, they actually swore, and that's what I said. They took an oath that they would uphold and protect it, and they don't even know what's in it.
Yeah, that's a little bit of an issue. So, that's great.
Drives me crazy. We're not a political show.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with political. That's not Republican. It's not Democrat. This was across the board. This happened to a lot. So, yeah, we're not taking any stance on this. We're just saying that, hey, you know what? If you're in that position, read the rules, please.
Yeah, you certainly can. And you know what? We're going to take phone calls today. This is our gift. We're going to do a half hour without any commercial interruption as a gift. We've got a very busy time coming in, and for this month and next month, and it looks like the show is really starting to take off. So our gift is to do this half-hour segment for you, and we're going to talk about a whole bunch of issues. 800-923-9385, and please call in if you have some comments. Actually, we're going to take a call now from Eric. Eric, are you there?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Happy New Year to you and the listeners.
You as well.
Go ahead, Eric. Al, do you know who Eric is?
Give me some insight, Eric. Who are you, bud?
Hi, Al. Eric Gould of the Novi One LBN chapter, and I was calling to follow up on your discussion about rules and knowledge and all that you need to know and all the areas of expertise. No one can really master it all, and aside from the benefits that this show provides every week, The benefits that a networking group like LBN provides is that you have a group of people that you meet with that you can, in essence, call your board of experts in different areas of business and life and the law and financial planning. And when you don't know the answer, you can always go to Google, but you can also talk to people who have this expertise and knowledge that you can draw on.
And that's what we have. And you've got an event coming up. Is that right, Eric?
Thank you very much for that lead-in. Yes, we are the Novi 1 chapter of LBN we're calling it a Visitor's Day. It's really a Visitor's Evening coming up on Thursday, January 20th from 6 to 8 p.m. And it's out at Leon's Dining Banquet in Wixom on Wixom Road. And we're going to have a presentation on the Health Reform Act and what it means to individuals and business, what it really, hopefully to provide an easy-to-understand basic outline of what the law deals with, what is going to be coming, what is in effect, what we can see shortly coming into effect,
hey, Eric,
and what might be what's at least being discussed about being changed.
Eric, and what I want to do is I want to let our listeners know that we're going to have all the details available on our fan page so that they can get more information. So on Networking Squared, we'll have all that information out there, and it's something where I'll be there, Jerry's going to be there, and we want to support this. It's really important that people understand what is going on with all the health care. And you were just in Washington, right?
That's correct. Last month. In fact, I was there at a healthcare summit, and that's when the new tax bill came out. So it mixed in between discussions about the Health Reform Act and what's going on. Everyone was talking taxes again, and as the end of the month approaches and we start getting our 1099s and W-2s, we're all going to be focusing on taxes.
Okay, so this is going to be on Thursday, January 20th from 6 to 8 p.m. It's at Leon's Dining Banquet at 29710 South Wixom. What are the cross streets where that's at?
It is just north of the I-96 exit. So it's between I-96 and Pontiac Trail.
Okay, and just to wrap this up real quick, if somebody has questions, is there a phone number they can reach you at?
Sure. They can feel free to reach me at the office, area code 248-489-8600, and I'm at extension 358 if you get the voicemail system.
All right, Eric, we really appreciate you being on the show this morning, and we will, again, put all the information on our fan page, and this is an important thing for a lot of people. So thanks a lot for calling us today, Eric.
Thank you very much for calling in.
Thanks for having the show, guys. Look forward to listening to the rest of the hour.
You got it. Thank you. You got it.